Hello, it's Oliver here for another college basketball breakdown using SportsCode. This time we're looking at Purdue and Maryland. I went to Purdue last year on exchange, so they've got a little special place in my heart, and I'm slightly biased towards them, but that bias will come a little through this video, but we'll just jump right into it. So here are my stats using my output window. If you want this output window or want to know how it works, there's a link in the description to both my email and I can send it to you. Or there's also some walkthrough videos explaining how this output window and its corresponding code window works, so if you want to check those out. Now the story of this game kind of comes down to two things. The first one being Purdue's dominance in the low post in both offense and defense. And the second thing is Maryland's pick and rolls, which we'll get to later, but first we're just going to look at this low post dominance through some statistics. And the most obvious ones here in the shot quality. So by good quality shots, I mean shots that aren't contested, that are open. Bad quality being shots that are contested and aren't open. So if we come here to the low post scoring of Purdue, 11 of 17 for 65% on 61% good quality. So 61% of the shots in that area were of good quality shots. Whereas if we look at Maryland, they shot 11 of 24 for only 46% and only 38% good quality. So that comes down to one thing, which is Isaac Haas, who was Purdue's 7 foot 2 inches, 290 pound center. He's really good on both offense and defense. He blocked a lot of shots, as we can see through these defensive stats. Those are the majority of those are him. He's influencing these poor quality shots in the low post for Maryland, and we'll get to that soon in the video. The story of this game was also in the first quarter. If we look at every other quarter, Maryland equaled or even bested Purdue's output in terms of points, rebounds, less turnovers. However, the damage was already done in this first quarter, where Purdue shot 80% from 3, whereas Maryland only shot 50% from 3. More telling is 70% from 2 points, 2-point range, whereas Maryland shot only 25% from 2-point range. Purdue essentially doubled Maryland's scoring. We're excluding free throws, so in 2 and 3 point shots, just doubled Maryland's scoring. So that's kind of like this. They're kind of the stats that jump out to me the most. I mean, Purdue also had a better 3-point percentage, better 2-point percentage. So there are other factors as well, but it's really that low post domination that really sticks out to me. So we'll go to some video. And what we're going to start off with is not low post scoring, but actually 3-point shooting, because Purdue has two main ways to attack you. They have Isaac Haas, who we'll get to soon, and Matthias, both seniors, but Matthias is a really good 3-point shooter. And Purdue usually scam up quite a few ways to get him open shots. You'll see that most of these clips here that are going to be in the first half, or the first quarter especially, and they always scheme up good ways to get him open, so very important is Isaac Dakota Matthias is number 31 over here on the right wing. Here you'll see Isaac Haas with the ball now, sets a screen for Matthias, open to 3-point shot on the perimeter. This is the exact same play, however, with number 32 as the screener. I've actually forgotten his name. Same thing. A lot more difficult shot, but he gets it in anyway. Kind of the story of the first quarter of Purdue and the first half in general is just making those difficult 3-point shots. Dakota Matthias comes around the corner, again set by a screen by number 32 and gets it in. Next we're just going to go through a compilation of basically Haas just dominating in this low post area. There's nothing schematically to really talk about. It's just really just being really good at what he does, setting good skyhooks, good layups, good dunks. Purdue only, whenever their first action would fail, they would just kind of dump it off to Haas. There was no real sort of complicated way they would do it. They would just give it to him and let him go to work. I mean, Maryland can't really double him because Purdue's got plenty of good 3-point shooters, and Vincent Edwards and Carson Edwards and Dakota Mathias, so they can't really double him and leave those options open. So Haas can just kind of go on single. He's a lot bigger than even Maryland's centres. Here you can see he's just a lot bigger than number 23 for Maryland. He's just very dominant. So here's a set that I identified as a tendency. Purdue ran this play a lot last year with Caleb Swanigan. But this year, without him, they're just running it with Isaac Haas. And it kind of sets up their two main plays. So either a Mathias 3 or a Haas open layup or dunk or whatever. So we'll just play it through normal speed the first time and then with some drawings and slow it down and go through it slowly. So to Haas with a predictable ending, dunk. Not happy looking Maryland fans. So same play again. Now the objective of this play is to really get whoever is marking Dakota Mathias stuck in a muck of a screen. So Carson Edwards here, he's going to roll around and set a screen here. And then Dakota Mathias is going to follow him, also roll around the screen and try and set himself up for an open three-point shot on the perimeter. Now ideally, whoever's defending Mathias will get stuck in the screen, as well as whoever is defending Carson Edwards, creating an open opportunity. See what happens. So set a screen, Carson Edwards. Now what happened there was Carson Edwards' defender actually identified what was happening going on and switched onto Mathias. So now Mathias is guarded, no open three-point shot. So now we've got option 2, which is Isaac Haas. Maryland's players here are all stuck either in a muck or outside the low post, which leaves this area completely open, no rim protection other than number 23, who's kind of stuck on an island. So now Haas can get the ball and go to work, which he does. Easy dunk. Now we're going to go to Maryland's offense. And as I said in the intro, this game kind of came down to two things: dominance in the paint for Purdue and Maryland pick and rolls. And by that I mean they weren't doing the right thing. So it's kind of hard to explain without pictures. So we'll go through it once without any drawings, and we'll just go at normal speed and then we'll slow it down. So here is it at normal speed. Open three-point shot, clunks it off the rim, but it was open, and that's what's important. So here it is again. This time we'll slow it down so we can kind of go through it. So first of all, what's on this weak side is 2 defenders for Purdue, and on the other side there's only 1 defender for Purdue. Now Haas is going to sag off regardless of what happens because he doesn't want to get beaten on the perimeter. That happened a lot last year, so he's just going to sag off and protect the rim as much as he possibly can. Now we come to this next part. What's critical here is that the Maryland player is facing the strong side, or he's facing this left-hand side of the court. So now when he rolls to the basket, PJ Thompson here, the 1 defender, is going to have to guard him. And they're going to leave this Maryland player open for a three-point shot. Now if this was on the side with 2 Purdue players, one of the Purdue players could mark number 15 who's rolling, while the other can help on the shooters, while the other player kind of recovers back to the shooters after guarding number 15. We'll get to an example of that soon, but on this example, this is good play by Maryland because his player is facing the strong side. He's facing the side with only 1 defender, so this defender is going to be stuck between either guarding the shooter and leaving an open dunk for number 15, or he's going to follow or he's going to help on the number 15 and leave an open shooter. So in this instance, he goes to help on number 15 and leaves an open three-point shot. Here's another example of a good pick and roll by Maryland. So stop here by me. Maryland, the screener, he's facing the side with 1 defender. So now this defender is going to help on the roller. And it's going to leave number 10 open as a shooter. Again, he doesn't get it in, but it's open, and that's what's important. So here's what I mean by Maryland not doing the right thing too often. So we showed two examples of them doing the right thing with the screener facing the side with only one defender. Now if I just stop quickly here, this screener, he's facing the side with two defenders now. So now when he rolls, and we'll go through with some drawings. Here we go, with some drawings. So he's facing with the side with two defenders. So now when he rolls, as he does, this Purdue defender goes on to number 23. Haas is going to sag off marking this ball handler so he can't attack the rim. But now Carson Edwards is able to help out on number 10 and mark the shooter. While number 12, Vincent Edwards, there's two Edwards, there's Carson and Vincent, which makes it very confusing. But while Vincent Edwards marks number 23, Carson Edwards can mark number 10 while Vincent Edwards recovers. And then Carson Edwards can go back to number 5. So you've watched this play. Go back. Carson Edwards rushes number 10. Vincent Edwards recovers, so he can now mark number 10, and now Carson Edwards can retreat to number 5. And Haas blocks it. So one more time. Now that's only possible because there's two defenders on that side instead of the one. If there's only one defender, that's going to leave one shooter open. Now Maryland could swing it and try and beat Carson Edwards to recovery on that number 5 shooter, on number 5 here. However, that still takes time, and I think Purdue would still be able to mark it up, especially if he gets in that passing lane as he did there. So here's another example of them doing it, Maryland doing facing the side with two defenders. So again, number 23, he's facing the side with two defenders. That allows Vincent Edwards to mark him and then recover to the outside shooters. Now once Maryland's first initial action's broken down, they don't know what to do. And then number 23, their centre, has a 3-point shot. And whenever the centre takes a 3-point shot, they've kind of won that position. So again, number 23, he's facing the side with two defenders. As you'll see there, Vincent Edwards, he helped out on number 23 to mark him. And now we can recover to these other two shooters. And contests the shot, which clanks off the rim, and they get the defensive rebound. Now Maryland did have other ways of getting Haas off the perimeter, which also led to open shots. He really wants to sag. He hates getting away from that. Hates getting away from the basket, as he's their only form of rim protection. However, number 23, who's the Maryland center, is playing really high to try and pull him out. Now if we notice over here, Dakota Mathias, he's going to have to come in and help with this rim protection, leaving the player he's defending open for a shot, because Isaac Haas is so far out. Here he comes in. Now number 4 is wide open. Open 3-point shot. So if we just play that one again. Really pulling Haas out. That makes Dakota Mathias come in for the block, leaving his shooter wide open. Here's just another Maryland play of getting Haas out. Again, it's number 23, really trying to drag him out to create room under the rim. No protection for the basket for easy dunks and layups for Maryland. Easy dunk. That's because Haas is so dominant on the defensive side in terms of this area, and this is just going to be basically a Haas block compilation. I mean, I think blocks are quite satisfying to watch. I mean, as you can see, this just is what contributing to that really low shot quality for Maryland that we looked at the start. Haas just blocking shot over and over again in that area. There's a reason they want to try and get him out, because he's just so dominant. I mean, that was only a sample. There's there's other examples as well of him just blocking shots, but that's basically all I have to show. So just to summarise, Purdue dominant in the paint, so Haas on both the offensive and defensive side, blocking shots and also making easy layups and skyhooks. Also Maryland with that pick and roll, so hopefully I explained it okay, but when that screen is facing the side with only one defender, that creates open shots as there's only one Purdue defender to help and mark a shooter at the same time, as when he's screening and facing the side with two defenders, one of those defenders can mark the roller and the other can mark both the shooters while the other recovers. So if Maryland did more of the former, more open shots, however they did much of the latter, creating contested shots. So that's all from me. Cheers.